Hi guys, sorry we're late.
Hi.
Oh, I do apologise for the delay this evening. However, my mum's birthday's coming up. One of our oldest friends goes right back to her childhood. Needed a lift to and from the ferry, and I thought originally that I was probably going to be picking up tomorrow. It wasn't. They decided that I had to pick up this evening and give that person a lift home. So it sort of blew everything out of the water, but I wasn't going to let my mum down. So I do apologise about that, guys. It won't happen again. I promise you. I promise you it won't happen again. It's John and Jason. Hi guys. Hope you're good.
Just a little bit more. I'm disappearing into the screen again.
Well, it's blinging hot here. Blooming hot. We've had a couple of 3 or 4 days up around in the 90s. It's scorchio. Absolutely scorchio. And absolutely, waiting for the weather to break. It's supposed to be cooling down from Tuesday, and with any luck, the temperature's supposed to be dropping back down to about 27, which blowed if I know what the equation is off the top of my head. Let me work it out.
Too hot.
Yeah, too hot.
Too hot.
Let's have a look.
Well, next Saturday. Hi, Andy. I haven't got your email. If you send us the email to Hampshire Outdoors and
27 degrees Celsius is 80.6 degrees.
I can then drop the photo link in there for you. All right.
There we go. So it's due to drop down to a reasonably pleasant 80 degrees Fahrenheit. So yeah, which means the nights will probably be back down into the 60s, which will be a lot easier to deal with than it has been. I mean, pretty much we've been holding a steady sort of 90 to,
my glasses
98.
Just keep sliding down my face. They're driving me bloody crazy.
Yeah. Was that me?
No, it's your tobacco. Your cigar.
Oh, I do apologise. I had a cigar in there during the week this week, and I've stuck the place out. I do apologise, love. I'll sort that out tomorrow. And guys, I apologise for the mess in here. It's a little bit disorganised at the minute. I've got a bit of sorting out to do. We've got a new bit of home equipment coming in this week, which means I can have a bit of a chop round and a sort out in here to get rid of that. Hi Andy, how you doing? Dirty Faces, how are you?
Yeah, I'm going to have to call the doctor tomorrow because I've got a patch of skin on my leg and it's all come up in these blisters. They're about as big as my thumbnail at the moment. And, early start, yeah.
They're getting Kaz checked out on that one. I don't know if any of you guys in the States have been following this. I've only come across it this week. Tiffany Slayton, this young lady that got lost in the wilderness for 3 weeks and come out looking miraculously good for it. Survived 13 blizzards, 2 avalanches, a landslide, dislocated knee. Must have broken the other leg because she splintered it, came out, looked as good as the day she went in. I was impressed. I thought, sturdy girl. Something's not right there. But yeah, anybody that's interested, if you dive over to YouTube, look up Tiffany Slayton. Something ain't
wow, is it? We're expecting it to get up to 36 and 37, weren't we?
Yeah.
But everything's just
hot.
Yeah,
hot. It's hot, and it's still hot. We're
using cool blankets. We're having cold showers. We've been staying indoors.
And it's one of those heats here. The air's not moving around my area, so there's not even a breeze with it. It's just a stagnant heat that just keeps building.
I didn't know we had got any bridges left that haven't been already sold, John.
Cool, Jason. That's
we have.
Murderous.
Yeah, it's not only what there's Hankley Common, but also yesterday, some of the New Forest went up as well.
Yeah.
Near Bewley.
Yeah.
But Hankley, they had 16 fire engines over there at one point. I think this morning they were down to 6.
Yeah.
And I think it's 2.8 hectares of destroyed underground Heathland and that.
Oh,
But yeah, it's funny. The one at New Forest, it started at 10 o'clock at night, bang on.
Yeah.
Strange that, isn't
yeah,
it?
when it's cooling down, just when the
Yeah.
lights gone off, it started.
Yeah.
It could have been anything. It could have been. Let's face it could have been discarded cigarette smouldering away for hours. It could have been broken bottle generating heat, caused something to smoulder, sparked up when it cooled down. It could have been a spontaneous combustion of dead wood. Could be any number of things. The thing
It could be a
is,
hedgehog exploding because it got too hot.
hedgehogs. It's hedgehogs like barbecues.
You're not having that. That's bloody tobacco. You little
We know that hedgehogs love their invertebrates, the worms and all the rest of it. What you don't
haven't got
realise is they
haven't
make
got
little hangies. They dig little pits, light fires, heat the stones, drop them in, wrap the worms in nettles, put them on top, fill it back in. They have little hedgehog hangies.
Andy, I don't know if you on Saturday and Sunday next week at the Ardingly Showground, they have got the South East Heavy Horse Association do. So they're going to have ferret racing. There's going to be miniature ponies. There's all sorts
all
of
the usual country sports
so
side
I'm
of
going to
things.
be taking loads of pictures and.
Be a bit of, with any luck,
I do like shy horses,
bit of
heavy
hunting,
horses.
shooting, fishing there, but I'll be down there.
They're going to have the old hounds as well, the old hunter hounds.
Yeah.
Edith Sussex. Are you going to Ardingly?
Yeah, Andy. The fire up at Hankley. Yeah, that's a bit of a nightmare.
Matt could actually see it from his place. He knew something had gone up, didn't he? Hi, Ken. Hi, Owen.
There's a chance I might be up there this week as well.
Yeah, the New Forest show. I was thinking about that until I saw the blooming prices.
Yeah, a little bit steep.
Yeah.
We
70 quid a ticket.
Can't make that.
No.
No, 70 quid a ticket. Yeah. If I'm paying 70 quid a ticket, I want a piece of the New Forest signed over to me. Make me a version.
Yeah, no. You go online and look at the price of the tickets, and that's just the early bird ones. At least the Sussex one was £15.
Yeah.
The Ardingly one is £15, and Use My Care is free, isn't it?
Sussex, come on, mate. I've got a shy horse. It doesn't come out much. Oh, I do excuse me because I am absolutely shattered tonight. It's I've been doing a fair bit of driving. I dealt with the traffic in Portsmouth without losing my shit. I drove in, even though twice I've been down there in the last 4 to 5 days.
Phil.
Twice there is traffic at the same place. Twice for the same reason, apparently. Twice apparently it came up as an accident.
Excuse me, I've got clary lemonade and I'm drinking out of the bowl.
Meant I had the glorious fun of driving around all the back roads into Portsmouth. It was fun, along with many hundreds of other people that were feeling just as hot, harassed, some of which were very lost. All I did was follow the signs to the seafront. But some of them were getting pretty stressed. I see plenty of tooting and shouting and indicating left, then indicating right, then indicating left again. I even see a couple in a car, and they were obviously going at it because there was lots of this from both of them. And, I just...
Iconically.
Yeah, I just...
Yeah, it's strange this week also, not only the wildfires, is the amount of people gone swimming in the rivers. And then they're dying because it's...
Yeah.
Evening swimming, daytime swimming. Don't do it, people. It's dangerous.
Don't enter that wild water unless you're with a group. You really know what you're doing. You have an idea of what's down there in the depths. And more than anything, you have the experience to know how cold it's going to be.
No, chronically. We've only been going a few minutes, mate.
3 feet down. Yeah. Again, for anybody that's just arrived, I'm sorry, guys. I had to go on a mission this evening. It was my mum's birthday. I'm sure you'll all understand. It won't happen again. Bad, Mikey. It was a bit out of my control, to be honest with you.
You will do.
Yeah.
But everything's getting crispy in the garden, isn't it? It's
Log hoppers aren't with us yet. They probably won't join us tonight. It's a bit late for them, and I know that Mod's not been well just lately.
Yeah.
And I will say, log hoppers, if you're seeing this, Mod, I hope everything gets sorted out soon, mate. You get back on your feet, and it's all good news. Tara, yeah, don't make the most of both sides of the tent too much, will you? Yeah. But
chronically, yeah, we won't get into discussing things like that on the channel. We try to stay neutral on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not involved. We don't get involved with other people's arguments. Yeah. We don't get involved with politics. We don't get involved with religion. I'm sorry, mate. It's an awkward position. It's one of those things on YouTube. When I first set myself up, I've got my own quite firm beliefs in things, and I sort of said to Kaz, I'm never going to put them forward, and I'm not going to get involved in arguments, conflicts between other people. So,
yeah. It just just draws everyone into it, and it just ends up on a shit show. So
yeah, it's their problem to sort out, really, between the two of them. I try not to take sides because at the end of the day, you just end up getting pulled into something, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
yeah, we take no sides.
Hey up, Benny. Yeah, I'm sorry I'm late, mate. You know what it's like.
Yeah, we were watching. We watched this quite interesting program. It's all about the lifeboats around the country, haven't it? Yeah. And they were down in Newquay, and a lad was going around with the scouts. Was going around doing that where they go around on the coast steering.
Yeah.
And he jumped, but he panicked after he jumped, and he was doing a 30-foot jump into the sea, and he actually landed flat on his back.
Yeah, not a good one.
Yeah.
Not a good one. When are people going to learn? Water is as hard as concrete. Doesn't seem like it, but I can tell you, it will push your man bits up around your throat.
Yeah.
Going from high enough.
A wet towel or even a wet flannel. You could put that in your cool bag and yeah.
Damp yourself down. Let that air blow across you. Let it take the heat off. It's it's absolutely bloody horrible. I hate the heat. Really hate the heat.
I don't think a wet towel on your laptop would really be good friends there, Jason.
Yeah. So I'm due to certain friends of mine looking at things. I had a look at a canoe today. I did have a look at a canoe.
What's one eye? Ooh.
And then I went from looking at a canoe to looking at a John boat. And then I went from the John boat to looking at a skiff. And then I went from the skiff to looking at an ex-MOD assault boat.
That's a good one. Yeah, stick baby wipes in the fridge.
Yeah.
I always keep my after sun in the fridge as well.
Yeah. And then I finished up looking at a rigid raider. Now I've used both the rigid raider and the assault boat myself in my career.
You're still going on about it.
Quite tempted to go that way.
It's not listening, is it?
Quite tempted to go that way.
Should I just yeah.
Small-shaped paddle boats are the way to go forward.
Thank you, Owen.
Sussex, yeah, quite tempted. Quite tempted.
So, the wasp got you, did it?
Yeah. Oh no. Who was it got stung?
Simon.
Simon.
He got his man down. Wasp on eye.
Oh, that's nasty. Do you pick up? You're right. You haven't got a reaction to it. Was it tissue around the eye? Wasn't actually eyeball, was it? Because that can be pretty serious. No problem chronically.
We used to have a boat, didn't we?
Yeah,
we used to go. We used to have
that was
quite a nice rowboat.
Yeah, that was Dory, wasn't
it? Yeah, and we used to go down the Bostock Canal on that.
Yeah.
Looking at the.
Well, that's the thing I'm looking at. I've got I've got about 15 miles of canal next to me. No, I'd say next to me, 3-4 miles down the road, that are absolutely stunning, absolutely beautiful stretch of canal. And that 15 miles literally has no locks, no nothing in it. It's a beautiful stretch. And I said to Kaz, I've watched young Stix's video out doing his paddling, and I went, yeah, you know what? I've said it for years. I mean, I'm an ex-amphibious engineer. I've operated on the water, in the water, around the water with many, many types of craft, but nearly all of which have been motorised. I actually missed canoeing and things like that. So there is a bit of me going, I fancy that, but there's also a bit of me, the ex-amphibious engineer, that's going,
yeah, Bill, he did that the other day with the Chamara on my head.
Yeah. Nice. I'm just thinking, nice little
on that
boat or something like that.
Pedal boat. We did it one. We went to Alton Towers once, and we had one of the Canadian canoes, and we did like Hawaii 5-0 until somebody hit us across the bows, didn't he?
Yeah. We had fun with that, didn't we?
Corrected SD procedure. Follow still. Crook under sunglasses. Multiple went double wonky out. Oh dear. I've done that. We had a Rover P6, and I had a swimsuit on. We were on our way to the beach, and I leant back on my seat, and I didn't know there was a wasp on the chair. It got me right up under the flipping arm.
You had that as well, didn't you? Early days of you getting on the back of me on the Katana.
Yeah, I got one in the crash helmet.
Yeah, we were heading down to the coast following a mate, and my mate was streaming ahead. We were on the Katana. I had Kaz on as a pillion, and I was trying to be a bit more careful because she hadn't been on a bike for a few years. And we were going down a bit of dual carriageway. The traffic had come to a stop, so I'm splitting. I'm straight down the centre.
Definitely way to go, Owen, isn't it?
Not going mental with it, but I'm down through the centre, so my concentration is there's my wife on the back. It is focus, and I'm zipping through the centre. And
I was your girlfriend then? Yeah, fiance.
Yeah, fiance.
Fiance.
And then Kaz gave me a poke, and I was like, yeah, it's all right. She gave me a poke. I said, no, you'll be all right. Thinking that she was a bit worried about us filtering.
Hi, Kiwi.
And it wasn't. She'd actually got a wasp, and it had gone straight in the side of her helmet, between her helmet and her head. Did it actually sting you? Oh, it did, didn't it?
Yeah, it got me on that bit.
Temple.
Yeah.
And I got down, got over safe enough, literally got the helmet off and that, took the wasp out, beat it to death, took it on, mano, give it a good hiding.
Yeah, Cujo said, make sure you buy a boat that fits your water. Mine was 11 foot wide and could fit in the 8-foot locks.
Yeah,
you can't exactly sort of come in at angle, can you, like that?
Well, I have had a tiny bit of experience with a canoe, and I do like a canoe. I've never done kayaking, but I have done a little bit of canoeing. Not that I would say I was experienced or had any knowledge to it, but I have done a little bit of it. And for that stretch of water down there, bear in mind that it's almost 15 miles of still water that's only 10 foot wide, and the deepest point is probably no more than 3 feet. I think a canoe would be quite nice. So I am looking around, although I keep seeing things that draw my attention, like rigid raiders and assault boats and stuff, and I keep thinking, stick a 25 horsepower on the back of that. But bear in mind, it's a 4 mile an hour speed limit on the entire canal. I don't think there's a lot of point.
We went on with Mac and a few others on a really tiny fishing boat from Crivelli to Lundy, and it was on one of those tide turning, wasn't it? My life.
Yeah.
The boat was going like that, and then it's going back, and it's going forward, and then it's going back. Yeah, Lee. I always put wet flannel, and always put them in a plastic food bag and put them on top of the ice blocks in the cool bags. Using your kids as punker wallers, Steve.
Yeah, the kids are going to earn their keep.
Chris, sorry.
I agree with that. The kids have to earn their keep.
I asked our son today how is he keeping cool, and they bought a big swimming pool thing, and they bought shades for it. So him and little girl were in that today.
Splashing around, enjoying themselves, having fun.
I nearly read that wrong, Chris. Sorry, Sticks.
Yeah, mine tends to track to the left side as well. But years of practice, that's what that is, Chris. Years of practice, you end up with one arm longer than the other and one grip slightly better. Sorry if anybody's got kids watching, you can explain it to them if you wish.
Has he already gone out these 48-hour challenge, has he, Benny?
But no, Benny was with us. Unless
Oh,
he's
right.
out
Yeah, it was his now.
deep in the wilds, undercover on Operation Benny. Out there, observe, report, destroy.
Yeah, same with us. Our youngest son, him and his girlfriend and their dog are out in Italy, aren't they?
Yeah.
At the moment.
Yeah, Sticks, I remember when you were straight. Oh, well, Benny, if you are out on your operation, mate.
We
Good
brought
on
in
you.
for a little bit, didn't he?
Yeah. Buy us personal paddle.
Actually, we were doing a fair old lick on that old lake.
Going
and
that,
yeah.
And his kayak looks lovely, doesn't it? I love the spray work he's done on it with all the twig patterning. I was quite envious. Like, that is so cool. That is definitely
Bushcraft Sussex. I drink. I rarely drink tea, but when it's hot weather like this, I do have a chamomile and rooibos. So yeah, I do have a hot drink as well.
Yeah, no, it's it's.
I've got to watch it yet, Sticks.
GPMG on the front.
Hi, get out from Belgium. Welcome.
GPMG. I'm not having a GPMG on mine.
Oh,
who's that? Get out. Hello, get out. How you doing there in Belgium? I hope it's not as hot over there as it is here. And
melting.
If it is, you're enjoying it. Just give out GPMG on the front. No. If I'm going to have a canoe, I'm having a twin Bofors on the front. Yeah, I want to take on the enemy.
Lee, you say that we've had local sort of groups on my Facebook, and you see there was one that was a dog. It's one of those cockapoos, and they had it tied up outside the chemist. And you know, all chemist queues are really long. And the poor thing was sitting on tarmac. It had nowhere to go apart from tarmac. Why take your dog out? Just leave it at home.
Infuriates me. People do that. I want to take their face and push it into the tarmac.
Yep.
How does that feel? You want to walk barefoot on that?
Yeah.
But there we go. I can't do things like that. They lock me up. But that's what I feel like. Won't have cruelty to animals. Do not have it.
Just if you want to go for a walk, you go for a bloody walk. Let the dog or your captain give you the lead and say, "Go on, go walk an air dog."
Commercial suit beats recce. Oh yeah.
Oh.
Get the old dry suit on. Rebreather. The 20mm. Yeah. All that. Yeah. That will definitely control the situation. Although the recall might move the canoe backwards.
Yep.
And of course, when I get into a boat, being a bit West Country, I've got to drop in a bit. Arr. And I said, I need a parrot. And an
That's all right, Benny.
No problem, Benny. No problem, mate. It's adapt and overcome. This is a marker of the true survivor. Is when it goes wrong, adapt, overcome, sort the situation out. No plans too late.
Yeah, it's this Sticks. Are you Banksy?
Yeah.
Oh, nice punt gun. Yes.
Yes, punt guns.
Yeah, I think they should be stopped and said, take your shoes off and go and have a little tunnel along there. I mean, I go out down to our back garden to put stuff in the recycling. Going, ouch, ouch, ouch on my feet.
Oh, we're all getting all maritime here. Astern, not backwards. Okie doke. Port or starboard. Forwards. Stern. Midships. Yeah. Scupper me.
Night, Andy.
Scupper me giblets, me my hearties.
Yeah, for those who haven't heard, Hangley Common over here is well known for the parachuting during the Second World War. It's gone up in flames yesterday.
Yeah, the
Where's-
DZ.
DZ said we had 16 fire engines out there.
Yeah.
Trying to put it out.
So if any of you have ever seen
Oh, have you watched?
Bridge Too Far?
Yep.
The landing zone where you see the guys parachuting in and it's all heather and that. That's Hankley Bowl. That is where that was filmed. Yeah.
Yeah, if you watch GoldenEye, isn't it? When he goes up, when the 007 goes up to his house in Scotland, it's not. That's Hankley Common.
Brilliant. Brilliant, Kiwi. Brilliant. I look forward to seeing them in use, mate.
Oh no! It's told his pickaxe.
Yes, right. Always pee off the leeward side. Always, always. Don't pee into the wind. Yeah, the wind is not your friend.
Yeah, we've yet to been to some of the. Yeah, Andy, how did it go? Did you enjoy your time? Because I know you went to was it Flanders? Is it Flanders?
Yes.
Yeah, and then you went and what did you see your Tour de France? Yeah, we've been to some of the beaches, but we haven't been to any of the cemeteries yet, have we?
No, we didn't get a chance
We
to
did
do
go-
it. The friend that we were out there with
Yeah,
had a bit of an emotional time when it comes to that and couldn't face it. So, out of respect to him,
Yeah.
we didn't.
but we did go
promised we
to
would
Pegasus
go back.
Bridge,
We did go to
and we
Pegasus.
went to Madame.
Laundry.
Yeah,
Yeah, we went and said hello, paid our respects.
Had a coffee.
Cup of tea and cup of coffee with her.
yeah.
She's always happy to see the Brits out there. Yes, yeah. It's Anybody gets a chance to visit Pegasus Bridge, I'd say do it.
Yeah.
And
They've got a lot of stuff in that museum, haven't they?
when you see the you can go and stand on the exact spot where those gliders came in. The exact spot, and you see how small that piece of land
It's
is. And
tiny.
they've still got the defences laid out there as they were, and you see what those pilots brought those gliders into. Oh, what a job!
Sussex.
What a job!
You see, I was in a quiz and they asked me who was the first Tour de France, who won the first Tour de France. Apparently, it's so Patrickle was the wrong answer. Yeah, because actually in the Pegasus Bridge Museum, they have got one of the body of one of the gliders.
Yeah.
And when you see how thin that is, and then you see that little tiny bit of land that they landed on, it was
Off to the MOs tomorrow, Simon. Yeah, mate. If it's playing you up that bad, you might want to go to A&E tonight, mate. Get it checked out. And if you know as well as do anything around the eyes, mate, you got to get it checked out. If you can't sort it within the first half an hour, get it checked because the damage only gets worse.
Yeah, when you see that they put vehicles in there as well. No wonder the poor they when they did crash, that people lost their lives just by being hit by an unsafe vehicle.
Yeah.
Ah, D.
Hi, D. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, because we stood on the original, what would have been Pegasus Bridge, and the holes in it, the bullet holes in it. It's
Thank you. Get out, paying your respects, and again, it's something I've always said. That's one of the problems in the UK here is our government doesn't pay enough respects, and I'm always very grateful to the fact the people of Belgium, France, Holland, Norway, and so on, all the countries over there, have always, they pay more homage than our own land does.
Yeah, and they look after the
I will
graves.
always say thank you and take my hats off to you. Um, I've never been so emotional as driving through Normandy and seeing the lampposts. That was absolutely amazing. So yeah, to my European friends, thank you.
Yeah.
You do more. You do more to honour my grandfather and his like than my own country, which is embarrassing. But there we go.
Yeah, it was nice to see the different faces on the things.
Yeah. And again,
and I saw the church at that parachute, the parapet.
Yeah. And again, we've got to say how essential and how brave the occupied countries and the people within the occupied countries were. Their resistance groups, their aid to downed airmen, to operators behind the lines, the risks that ordinary people took in villages and communities, whilst under a terrible level of occupation, was absolutely astounding and should always be remembered. We always think of the soldiers and the fighting men when we talk about these things, but we do have to pay respect to the resistance and the ordinary men, women, and children that did so much and suffered so much.
Yeah.
Often their story is forgotten. Yeah. Anyhow, that's enough of that. Let's move on to something. I've got to go back there again because I mentioned it right at the beginning. There was only a couple of people in the room.
I was just, but Mick, you mentioned hedgehogs earlier in relation to fires. Yeah. There is a call for everyone to place bowls of water for hedgehogs this week because of the heat.
Yeah, please do.
For hedgehogs and the birds and the bees.
Believe it or not, snakes.
Yeah.
Okay. All the critters, big, small, wriggly, they all lack water. All require water.
Even if you just use a lid to a margarine tub or something with something weighed on top of it.
Yeah. Just make sure.
Yeah.
That any water you put out has got a way for something to get out. Because people often say to me, "Well, what about the insects?" Oh, sod the insects. Don't need the insects. Creepy, crawly, damn things. They're food for all the bigger things. So by protecting them as well, you are assisting.
We weren't. It was Andy B was in Flanders and that.
No, I'm afraid I wasn't yet. I'm still stuck here dealing with something at the moment. Yeah. Anyhow, so yeah, my American friends, can anybody give me enough update on this Tiffany Slayton thing? I caught something the other day about her 3 weeks epic survival, dislocated knee, put it back herself after falling off. It was like a comedy of errors, really.
They don't like hot cross bunnies, no.
Went out, fell off a cliff, dislocated her knee, must have broken her leg. She put the other one in a splint. Then walked for 20 days, spent 3 days in a cabin, survived 2 avalanches, 1 landslide. What else was there? Yeah. 13 blizzards. 13 blizzards. God, blimey, that's one every other day almost. And survived it. And when they found her, her blood works were absolutely normal. Lucky enough, her legs had healed, and she hadn't lost any condition. No condition at all. Absolutely. Well, am I being doubtful?
Mm-hmm.
I would never say in public that I'm being doubtful. She might be superhuman. But hey.
Did she come in on Unicorn Airways?
She came in on something. So if anybody can let me know, apparently she was in the Sierras.
Dee loved the new video on the automated ridgeline system top.
Thank you very much. I hope everybody's happy that I'm going back to the original sort of format and stuff. Yeah, sticks, what a woman. Well done, Sussex. Yeah, right. Dee, if you YouTube Tiffany Slayton, Slaton.
Good morning.
Yeah, it was
They
on.
would say this.
There was a news report on her from the town that
Hi,
rescued
Jess.
her just this, or I found it just this week, but I believe it was earlier, about a month ago that this happened. So what her story is, basically, I've just written a
Who
brief
wants to be
synopsis.
dull?
So she went out on a 3-day e-bike adventure into the mountains, carrying a tent, 2 sleeping bags, and enough food for 3 days. She fell off of a cliff, dislocated one knee, which she put back herself by hand, splintered her other leg, so I take it that was broken. She then survived 20 odd days, and during those 20 odd days, she lost her tent, lost her sleeping bags, foraged off of plants, wild leeks apparently, because she knows about foraging, good girl. Survived 13 blizzards, 2 avalanches, 1 landslide.
You sure it wasn't Bear Grylls in a dress?
Yeah, yeah. And eventually, because she couldn't get GPS, this is clever. I want you to remember this tip. She could not get GPS, and she could not get any satellite imagery on her phone. So she asked Siri where the nearest Starbucks was, and Siri was able to tell her it was 18 miles away and give her the directions to it. So she then walked to that. Siri, better than GPS. It absolutely. I don't know how this works. So, because apparently she has no cell reception, but
Yeah.
Siri doesn't need cell reception, GPS, satellite, or anything, does it? We all know that. And then when you look at the condition of her, I'm not saying she's a liar. I would never say that. I just think she might be an amazing survivor. Yeah, just have a look at the condition of her when she's doing her speech and talking about it. I've seen people that have been out in the wild for
obviously
a week.
probed, Bill. Obviously probed.
Yeah. Oh, mate, she had 2 sleeping bags with her as well and lost them both. How careless is that?
Yeah.
It's one thing to lose 1 sleeping bag or your only sleeping bag, but to have 2, to be carrying 2 just in case and to lose them both. Yeah. John, yeah, it's.
So may I ask, coming off this subject?
Yeah.
Do you have ferret racing in America, to our American brethren, or any other countries? Do you have ferret racing over there? Because you're going to see some.
Yeah, we're going to go see some ferret racing next week, and we're going to try and film it for you guys.
And take photos.
She had a GoFundMe to raise money.
23,000.
To help her get back on her feet. She's a survivor. That's £1,000 a day. That's not bad income, is it?
That's 11.5 grand each leg.
Hey, Benny's doing 48 hours survival. He'd be lucky if he gets 48p.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. They don't like whipping either, do they, ferrets?
No, it's the jockeys are tiny.
Yeah, that's what Bushcraft was saying. He says it's hard to get them out saddles on them. And they buck like hell.
I tell you what's harder than that is getting them into the gates ready to release them. Little buggers will bite you. Oh. Yeah, so yeah, I was just, like I say, go and look it up yourself and make your own opinions on it. I call hooey on it myself. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. I've got to be careful because I don't want to get into trouble with YouTube, but yeah. It's if she genuinely did do it, she needs to be down with Delta Boys and all the rest of it. Maybe doing or out with the SEALs, giving them advanced survival.
If you want to know where Willow is, that is him now. That's outside the man cave door, in front of the fan. He's KO'd at the moment.
Willow is really not liking the heat. So nope. I'm glad we got him clipped the other week. But
he's due for another one soon.
He don't want to know this heat. He's like, no, I'm from Tibet. I'm from the mountains. I'm snow. I can do cold. I can do heat. You know where you can put it.
Yeah, Chris Sussex. We used to have ferrets. We had two. We had a brother and sister, Havoc and Squealer.
Squealer, yeah.
And the boys used to put them in their Action Man things and wheel them around the floor.
Yeah.
And they were buggers because they used to nick everything off the fruit bowl, didn't they? And they used to hide it behind the TV.
I still remember my first ferret, Inky.
Evening, Mac, and Tarback.
Evening, Matt. How you doing, mate? Hope you're good.
We were given a ferret, weren't we?
Yeah.
And you used to sit on his cage, you on top of the others. You used to undo the cage, cool it. You used to come out, come down his fence, his cage, come in, get his food, go back, and then go back in its cage again.
The calmest, most relaxed ferret I've ever. But don't get me wrong, I've never had what I'd call an aggressive ferret. I've had a couple that you've got to watch your fingers with if you're not careful.
I was really.
But the majority of ferrets I've had, it's all down to handling them. You know, you'll get a nip or two to start off with, but you've got to grit your teeth and just teach them.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a bit of kindness and a bit of firmness. And
I've never been bitten by any of our ferrets.
Yeah.
It's funny to see Jack Russell playing with them, the ferret in the garden. Oh God!
Leap around, leap around like lunatics. I mean, my ferrets used to like more than anything. Used to like pigeon, to be honest with you.
Yeah, like pigeon.
Yeah, they used to eat a lot of pigeon. Used to love that. And again, it's quite amazing. You put a pigeon in there, come out the following day, bloody thing's gone.
Well, Havoc, she was more pale polecat, and what she found, there was a hole in the sofa, so she should get inside, and she had a thing about men's smelly socks, didn't they?
Yeah, she liked smelly feet.
So if people come up and put their feet up on the sofa, what she'd do, she'd come up in the back from under the cushions and nab their feet.
Yeah, she's a little sweet, don't she?
Oh.
Cheers, mate. Do appreciate that, Mr. D.
But you got another one coming, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got another. I might as well tell them.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So, yeah, I went in and got tested this week. So I've got a prostate that is. Don't ask if it's millimetres or centimetres because I didn't even hang around to ask. Apparently, 20 when you're a young man is normal, about the size of a walnut. 30 as you get older is considered getting large. 40 is considered now we need to do something about it, and mine is 84. Yeah.
So he's carrying around another body in his body.
Yeah. So they don't know what it is yet. It could just be BPH, or bear in mind what I've already had. They obviously got concerns there, so I've got to go back and have a load more testing. And I've been told there ain't no two ways about it. You're definitely having an operation. But apparently this operation isn't a problem because there's already a way in. Great. I'm not going to go into any more details than that, other than I have never been so shocked, embarrassed, or surprised in all my life. And if I ever see an alien with a probe, I'm going to be gone like a sword.
And Johnson, if it gets to 100, you should sell it.
Yeah, I tell you what, if it gets to 100, I'm going to get it a pair of jeans, a t-shirt, and give it a name.
You need to turn gay, Lee Markle says.
Yeah, so it's one of those things. So again, I'll say same thing to all you guys as I've said before about the other thing. Yeah, get any problems, guys, get them checked out early in their court, and they've known about this for 2 years. Last year, it got measured; it was at 40, and they said, "Right, we'll start enacting something to deal with it." And in a year, it's almost doubled in size. So
no, Kiwi is camera.
Got to be dealt with. Got to be dealt with. Oh,
don't mention it.
Yeah, camera with a mag light on it.
Yeah,
that's all I'll say. Yeah, that's what it seemed like. 6 though. Yeah, I want a canoe. I do want a canoe.
He does.
Yeah.
Well, we're off to Wales a week Wednesday, aren't we?
Yeah, week Wednesday we're down in Wales for the day.
Yes.
We're coming down to pick up a mobility scooter from Caroline from where?
Llanrydrod, Wales.
Yes, so it'd be nice if we could actually bump into Stealth when we're down there, wouldn't it?
Yeah, Stealth.
I don't know that area. Well, I know that area reasonably well, but
yeah,
not brilliantly.
yeah, we're coming that way because I did get a new scooter, but I'm afraid I just didn't get on with it.
Yeah.
The wheels, my other one has got quite a chunky front wheel, and the back wheel is huge.
Yeah.
And so I sent it back, and I found another one in Wales, so I'm going to pick it up. This was exactly the same model as my one I've already got, but it's in blue, and it's
A bit newer, isn't it?
5 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, so Stealth, if you'll see this tomorrow, we're going to be coming down your way, mate. Be nice to have a cup of tea. Maybe bump
And
into you somewhere.
maybe possibly in living Lavu's area as well.
Yes, and Mr. Lavu. So yeah, so we're going to be in you guys' area. Hit us up, send us a message. Maybe we can meet up. Maybe you can tell us the best place to get a cup of tea. Maybe even a portion of chips. We've got to pick the scooter up for about 7 o'clock in the evening, and then we're going to be. I'd like to travel back basically once all the traffic's died off. It's gone nice and quiet, preferably a bit dark, and it's just those nice quiet roads. And yeah, I'm going back. We will be going to and from via Hereford. So yeah, I get to salute over to go past. Yeah, there we go. That's where we'll be off.
Well, if you send one of your size 14s to Chris at Sussex, send in the other one. He can canoe in that.
I'll stick an outboard on the back of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get a trolling motor.
Yeah.
That's another thing I was looking at. You saying that you could, these electric trolling motors? Quite affordable, nice and quiet. I was like, ooh.
Can you get me nice stable boat so I can put it on mine?
Yeah. The sticks are they waterproof? Right, I would go with an inflatable for one reason.
We get a lot of.
I know the Basingstoke Canal like the back of my hand. Yeah. And the left-hand bank, literally the whole way down, is either rhododendron, hawthorn, or blackthorn.
Plus, we got them black mink.
Yeah, and there is also a lot of submerged structures up and down there. The whole canal. I'll do a video on it once I get sorted out. I've got a boat. I'll do a video on it because there is a lot of history up and down there. And some of the flashes, there were barges during the Second World War. For anybody that doesn't know what a flash is, as you look down a canal, there will be areas basically designed partly to hold water and partly so that you could turn boats around. So you'd have an area which would open right out.
Of flashes, yeah.
The German or the Luftwaffe during the Second World War were using the Basingstoke Canal as a run-in because it runs southwesterly, but it joins the River Wey a few miles from the River Thames. So it was one of those locations, if they could pick up the canal in the moonlight, they could literally follow it all the way up to the Thames. It was a ground indicator. So what the military did is they positioned barges in some of these flashes with anti-aircraft guns. But to confuse them even more, they would move these anti-aircraft guns on quite a regular basis from flash to flash.
A little one in Loch Ness.
And the barges, or there's a few of the barges, are still there. So quite interesting to see.
It's good for pike fishing.
Brilliant.
Pike love finding in those old wrecks.
I have my BP.
PB, yeah.
PB pike out there, £24. And witnesses. All people see it, but a £24
caught on your
favourite
froggy lure, and then his cousin from Cornwall. She said, "I'll have a go." She launched it, and the frog come off the end, and disappeared, never to be seen again.
Yeah, it's like teaching you to suck eggs when you cast.
Yeah.
Cast out, the tip comes down to where you want it to go, and it's the water. You don't cast out and then literally halfway through the cast, hit the bail arm, lock it up, ping the frog into the.
Yeah.
Gutted.
So I've got him another frog, but it's not the same, is it?
I actually said to her at the time, I said, well, yeah, go on, you can use this one, but be careful because I've had that lure for a few years and it's one of my favourites. Bing! Oh,
yeah, that's what you were saying, wasn't it? About the little electric. Get Out was just saying about the electric propellers.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't believe it. It sounds so stupid to take a little one into Loch Ness.
I wouldn't fancy that. You get the old wind blowing. That's the only problem with
Keep
anything
saying that-
inflatable, isn't it?
You did drowned.
When
I fell out.
I was a nipper down in Cornwall and that, quite a regular thing then for people on lilos,
Yeah.
inflatable things. People
Yeah.
used to bring paddling pools, blow it up on the beach, sit the kids in it. It's wonderful. And then 10 minutes later, the kids are just floating off with the wind, disappearing out into the Atlantic. I'm a bit, I'm a bit dubious and inflatable on that stretch of canal. To be
Well,
honest with you.
I've seen Max rods here.
Yeah.
And you've got your rods, and so I was on there earlier on, and you were out, and they had a collapsible one in purple.
Purple.
And I've got a purple reel as well.
You got a purple reel
Yeah,
and a purple rod
Yeah,
coming?
I have. Yeah.
Yes, Matt,
So-
your rod and reel is here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Just want it to cool down a bit before I go
Yeah.
out fishing again, because
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
You have to watch out because if we're going along the Basingstoke Canal, it's all right going along stalking Jack Pike, but if I'm in my Billy scooter, I'm going to do what I nearly did at Boscastle. I was too busy watching where I was going on the stones, and then he went into the harbour. Yeah.
Excuse me, 2 seconds.
Yeah, it sounds like a good idea.
Sounds worked. Excellent. Right, put a little short up today. There'll be another one tomorrow, which is a follow-on from that one. Basically, I was going down to Portsmouth today. I left here with plenty of time, and because I don't know whether it's been an accident or what, but I got sent a different route, which worked out actually quicker. I ended up 30 minutes ahead of myself, and I thought,
That's
think about
mad,
this.
Kit. It really is.
Think about this logically, Miss. You can be there an hour early and have to sit in the sun on the seafront and just watch loads of people in skimpy clothing.
Yeah.
Or you could stop and have a wander out onto the old training area where you used to work and go see how the pond's doing. So I did. So I went and did a short out by Walmer Pond.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and
It's lovely there.
it was lovely. Which led me to thinking,
People don't realise you could just walk across that.
Yeah.
It looks steep, but it's not.
I might find an afternoon when they're not firing and go out and actually see if I can find some of the old snakes that are out there to show these
Yeah.
guys. Yeah, that
Show
pond
the
on,
old cottage there. It's
Yeah.
cute.
that was a funny story. There is the background to it isn't funny. We had a guy go missing, left a note in a car.
When it's cooler, that's when to do it.
Left a note in a car, and I was on duty, and they decided that after firing one day, they said trying to find him. They said, right, we've got a police diving team coming up, police divers. And I went, all right.
There's one on the Basingstoke Canal as well.
Where are you
Chris.
sending them? And they said, oh, Walmer Pond. Well, I know for a fact, because I've been there for years and I'd seen it dry up to nothing. Walmer Pond at its deepest point in the middle of winter is about 2 feet. So this police diving team turned up with their 2 vans, all their gear, and they're getting their gear out and they're getting their dry suits on. And I walked up and I said, you're right, guys, can I give you a bit of advice? And this guy looked at me, daggers. He literally spun on me. He was like, who are you? I said, I'm one of the staff here. I said, I need to give you a bit of advice. You don't need to tell us nothing about diving. We're police divers, mate. We do search and rescue for bodies all the time. We know exactly what we're doing. Don't need your advice. So, do us a favour and go away. Let's get on with it. So, all right, fair enough. So I backed up.
That is
50
very
metres,
considerate, D.
and I sat and watched them. And I watched these guys on a scalding hot day put all their dry suits on, get all their lines out, walk all their air out, put their tanks on and everything else, get their sticks, get all masted up, and I watched the guy wade out. And he was about halfway across when the bloke looked at me and went like that. And I drove down and he went, how deep's that? I said, 2 feet at its deepest point. And he just went, oh. I went, yeah. I was going to tell. I was trying to tell you, but yeah. Well, yeah. But we still got to go through the steps and all the rest of it. We still got to search it. Yeah, got to search it. Just don't think you really need the oxygen.
No.
Or
You
the air.
will, because of going with your dry suits. But
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah. So yeah, that was just one of those things. So I learned a lesson there myself. If somebody comes wandering up, no matter what the situation is, says, "Mate, can I give you a bit of advice?" It is always worth going. Yeah. What's your advice? And you can either take it with a pinch of salt, or if the guy says that's only 12 inches to a foot
Better
deep out
hear
there,
it than ignore it.
you can have an easy
Flipping
day of it.
glasses. Go down my face.
Hanged up, my prostate notifies me 15 minutes before I need to get up 5 times a night. It's considerate. Yeah, mine too, mate.
I always have those. I have always have those dreams that I can't find out of the toilet.
Yeah.
All the toilets are full. That's when I know. That's when my body's telling me, "Wake up! You need a wee." So I know, like, oh, that toilet's there's too much.
Sussex, have a great one, mate. Have a good week.
Like Chris Sussex. How? Whoa, hello.
Yeah, it's crazy people. There's been, I think it's about 5 drownings now we've had reported. I mean, obviously,
Hi, Steph.
running an outdoors and survival channel, one of the things I'm constantly monitoring is what's happening out and about. And in the last couple of weeks, people doing
There's a lady, the latest one, the woman did it.
stupid things on mountains is quite prevalent at the moment. Doing severe mountain climbs in flip flops with no equipment. That's quite popular. I don't know why. Unfortunately, drownings, and again, it just comes back to people get stupidly hot. They get weather like today, 30 degrees. That is hot. No two ways about it. And yes, you want to cool down. Jumping into a lake, a river, or something like that, where you don't know the currents, you don't know what's below the surface.
Yeah.
And anybody that's ever had to work or be around, especially deep water, knows that 2 to 3 feet below the surface, that temperature change is absolutely dramatic and will knock the air out of your body. You will get, you literally, you think about it, you're outside, you're in 30-degree heat, your body's hot, you are hot, your temperature's right up, you suddenly drop yourself into that cold. The cold shock to your body is overwhelming. It's within my career, I've had to train for cold shock. So again, going and doing immersion in the middle of winter and things like that, training to deal with the cold shock, and it starts sort of it starts very gently. You work right up to it. You teach your body how to lock up so you don't take that involuntary breath, because once you've taken that involuntary breath, you are pretty much done. You spasm, you take in water, it goes into your lungs. Within seconds, your body is not getting the oxygen and it's starting to fail. So, cold water shock. Any of you that have to work or for a hobby, go near cold water, right? Easiest way to teach yourself is start giving yourself some cold shock showers, right? So, basically, get the shower good and hot, get yourself really comfortable in it, step out of it, turn it right down to cold, step back into it. Basically, try and clench up, keep your mouth shut, stop your breathing, control it, and let it hit you, and teach yourself how to deal with that cold shock, because that's the real killer. Beyond that, it's then dealing with the hypothermia. But in the summer, if you're a capable swimmer, you've dealt with the cold shock, your chances of surviving have just gone up by 90%. Stealth, how you doing, bro?
Yeah, we said we're coming up.
Yeah, we're coming up there. We might need a translator.
Yeah, we might do. Yeah. We got to go to. Oh God, I can't remember.
Landrednon.
Yeah.
Something.
Caramel Hill.
Yeah.
Camel Hill.
Yeah. The last time we went to Wales, we actually drove from Anglesey to Borth. And we went from Anglesey to Borth looking for a chip shop.
Yep.
Could we find one? All right, it was late in the season, but we couldn't find one.
until we had one outside Borth's camp, and it was like a front room.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah, we went up to St Bees, and all we saw was a seal. We looked for dolphins.
Yeah. Yeah, there are so many dangerous rivers around them. People look at shallow water, and they go, "It's shallow, I'll be fine."
No.
But a couple of inches of fast-moving water, and your feet go out from underneath you. Your body's now down in it, and you're moving with it. I was really, really blessed with spending most of my childhood in and around the Atlantic coast down in Cornwall, on the north coast of Cornwall, with people that really respected it and understood it. I got into surfing. That was my introduction to the sea. That's where I've always had a love of the sea from. But I tell you now, absolute utmost respect for it. I've been swept away. I've been caught in a rip, and I knew the art was just keep floating. Don't fight it, float. You know, you'll come in at the next bay, and somebody's going to notice you going out. If you try swimming, you lose energy. So, as a kid, that was what we were taught to do. We were taught to
that'd
float.
be good.
Minimum energy wasted. Keep yourself afloat, and then try and deal with it.
Oh dear, 37-year-old victim on the coast. Oh dear. Stealth says, have to try and sort of stop it. That'd be good, Stealth. We said that'd be nice. We'd bump into you.
Yeah, it would be. Would be nice to bump into you, mate.
Have a
cup of
biscuit
tea,
and a
shake
cuppa.
your hand,
Yeah.
give you a hug, say hi. Really appreciate that. It's always nice. Any chance to meet up with any of you guys, I'm always up for it. Because again, it's so nice to be able to put faces to names and actually be able to shake somebody by the hands and say thank you. Yeah, it's a simple thing, isn't it, really? The support I've had over the last year or two from you guys has absolutely been amazing. It's what's kept us going through some pretty dark times, but you pulled us through it. You know, so thank you very, very much. Owe you all a cup of tea. Owe you all a pint, really. No, maybe not a pint. Maybe a chocolate hobnob.
Or a pass through Abergavenny. I don't know. I know we're going to go through Hereford.
Yeah, we'll be coming in via Hereford.
I see that on the map.
Yeah.
Because it's 169 miles. Good do.
Yeah.
I've got to be there for 7 o'clock.
Yeah. Cold shock there just today. 37-year-old victim on the coast. Yeah, cold shock. It just.
They don't understand. They don't get it, do they? They just think,
cold water.
Yeah.
Cold water. It's just so dangerous. And I get it. I've been there myself. I've been out on Dartmoor, height of summer. God, blimey, sweating like a pig. Looked at that little river and thought, oh, just drop my kit off, dump my gear, go and sit it. But I've had the experience to know how to look for the spot to go and sit in. But unfortunately, people don't. And
it is nice to meet
they
a
stop,
friend you never met.
especially with people dropping into things like pits and quarries.
And rivers, you don't know what all the weeds are so long.
Yeah, and the cold and the dark, and it's just, you're going to the bottom. It's not good.
Oh, thank you, Lee.
Yeah, it is. It's always nice to hug a mate that you've never met, Kit. It's a wonderful thing. Cheers, Lee. Much appreciated, mate.
Bear Down Farm, yeah, good for a dip.
Yeah, Bear Down Farm. Do you know what? Anybody ever heading for Dartmoor looking for a camping site? Bear Down Farm. Absolutely.
Oh, they've had
awesome.
Bodmin's had some fires as well, hasn't it? You saying?
Yeah, Bodmin's had a couple of fires. Yeah, Bear Down Farm. That little river through Bear Down Farm. Now that's a good little river for a dip in the middle of the summer. Obviously, watch your depths and all the rest of it. Watch out for the holes. Watch your step. But yeah, that's a nice little river. Oh, that's beautiful.
And remember the old saying: if a stone is a rock, it's got green on it, don't tread on it.
We were watching the other night. We were watching videos of people slipping.
Yep.
Right, fails basically, and we were watching specifically fails around water. And the amount of people that don't seem to understand.
Yeah, they've gone
Yeah.
onto boat slipways, steps down into the water.
If it's green, it's obscene.
Yeah.
Simple one to remember. If it's green, you are not going to stay on your feet. It's simple as you are going on your backside. And a couple of them were funny because they literally went down on their bums, but there was a couple where they cracked their heads, and that again, back of the old skull there, not a good place to get a hit.
I've seen my mum do it on Dartmoor.
Yeah,
stepping stones and treading on a green one. End up. That's a nice one for the film, Philip.
Yeah, man hugs. Yeah, nothing wrong with a good old fashioned man hug.
He said that it's down to they connect with nature now thanks to you guys.
Oh, good.
You didn't read it for him, were you?
Well, I can't see the bottom of it there because I've got this stupid activate Windows bracket, so I can't see it fully.
It says camping to connect with nature thanks to you guys.
Hey, mate, it's, you know what? Somebody asked me today, in fact, my mum's friend, when I was bringing her back, she said, I hear you do a lot of camping and that. Why at your age would you go camping? And I said to her, because
our age?
It helps my head. It's healing. Being out in nature, for me, helps my body and my mind to reset because it takes away all the stress of the world. And she got it. She said, I've never really thought of it that way. But you're right. She said, I suppose when the only thing around you're concerned about is whether you're dry, whether it's wet, whether you're comfortable. She said everything else really gets pushed into the background. I said exactly that.
Bye, John. Enjoy your dinner.
John, take
dinner
it.
Time. Dinner, Batman.
Excuse
us.
It's
too hot down here.
Yeah, the heat is getting to us both. Yeah, see you next week, John. Back to 2000 hours next week UK time, John. Back to the normal time.
Yep.
Yeah, I am sorry to anybody that's just joined us as well. I am sorry. My mum's birthday, so as a treat to her, I took one of her oldest friends. They grew up together. Down a few days back to spend a few days with my mum on the Isle of Wight, and I had to pick her up at just gone 6 this evening for the Holver, and bring her back, and I had to allow for traffic and everything else. So I knew I couldn't get back by 2000 hours. So I thought if I move it up an hour, I can make it just about. If I move it up 2 hours, I'm guaranteed to be able to get back here in time. Yeah. D, we get those in Cornwall coming off the Atlantic. We call them freaks or freak waves. Basically, the theory of freak wave.
Any seventh one, is it?
Well, a freak wave, nobody. What science says is nobody can actually pinpoint it, but apparently what happens is the waves join up out at sea, and as they come into the shore, they climb a lot larger than normal. So you get an absolute freak. Now, the problem with trying to warn people and indicate them and have a warning system is in deep water, it's only going to be a very slight swell. But as that comes into the shallows and comes up off the Atlantic shelf, the water starts to shallow up. It starts to pick up speed. As it picks up speed, it picks up other waves. So as it picks up those other waves, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. The way I had it described to me is, if you remember when you were a kid, you sat in the bath and you started sliding backwards and forwards, and how the water started to pick up is exactly the same sort of effect. The waves pick one another up, increase and increase. I was about 12 or 13 and I got hit by one on the beach, and all I remember about it was looking up the beach and seeing people running and thinking, why are they running? And when I looked round, there was a wall of water about 6 feet high that hit me, took me clean off my feet. Bear in mind I was stood on the sand. Took me off my feet, washed me up the beach, and all I can remember was what I'd been told was, if you get caught by something like that, try and get on the backside of a rock as it goes out, because it's not it coming in that you've got to worry about, it's it dragging you out, the force of water pulling you out. So yeah, quite a freaky experience, quite a shocker as well, because they can come out of the blue, and they can happen anywhere in the world. Anywhere that you've got a large expanse of water, these can occur. Quite a scary thing. Very powerful thing, water. You see 6 inches of water moving a car. That's always that was the first time I was ever truly impressed by the power of water. I was seeing just something I could stand up in, moving a car, and I'm like, blimey. And that was just 6 inches, but it was flowing really, really fast.
That's right. When you see people go through fords, they're going through that, and then you see the back end get slightly high. You think they're floating. That's it. They're off.
Yeah, they're done.
Yep.
Yeah. And that was one of the designs on the old Land Rover. When people say to me, "Oh, old series Land Rovers and Defenders, they're not exactly waterproof." Well, they weren't meant to be. That was actually designed into them. The theory being that as you drove into deep water, the vehicle filled up, and that meant that the vehicle gained weight, which kept its traction on the bottom and meant it could plough through and come out the other side and not get swept away. The theory being also that when you got out the other side, everything drained out, soon dried out. Whereas modern vehicles are all pretty much airtight. They're designed to float as long as humanly possible, so that when they hit water, they lose traction. And most modern cars, so somebody, again, goes back to the four-wheel drive thing, something that came up in one of the four-wheel drive courses. Why is it that cars 20 years ago could drive through 2-3 foot of water and modern cars can't? Well, old-fashioned cars tended to have, well, majority were petrol, but they tended to have the air filter right on top of the carburetor, top of the engine. Now, that's okay until we started trying to improve performance, and people realised that you get cooler air near the ground. The colder the air, the more it can be compressed, the more power you can get from the engine. So most modern vehicles, the air intake is actually low down on the front radiator or low down on the front grille. So it picks up clean, cooler air rather than the warm air within the engine bay. Fine for your normal driving, absolutely brilliant, until you go through water that is 6 inches deep. That sucks up, hydraulics the engine, and anybody that's ever had a hydraulics engine, well, it's done. Finished, finito.
I remember that, Mac.
Yeah.
Mac, and he's on top of the wave in his canoe.
Yes.
Heading towards the beach like an exorcist.
Yeah. So if you do have to go through deep water and you've got a modern car, my suggestion to you is to find where the airbox is, find where the pipe comes into the airbox from the outside, and disconnect that. Right, and then you're going to be sucking air from that box, which will be, with any luck, higher up in the engine bay. Or just stick to the manufacturer's recommendations.
Yeah, water is the most powerful substance. When you think of how it's carved its way through, like the Grand Canyon and that, and the Moab desert, you get people walking down these things. You think, no, because if it starts raining, you're going to be drowned. Yeah.
Well, more people die of drowning in deserts than die of heat.
Yep.
It's I'm just going to grab a book on reading at the moment.
Okay. Willow. 100-year waves. All right. I suppose Kit and the oil rigs are the perfect place to put those monitors on. Yeah. Proper formal saws to have snorkels. Very true, Andy B.
When I went to the hospital this week for the tests,
you watched that as well. Be like water, my friend.
Fluid. Stay fluid.
Yeah, stay fluid.
Yeah. That term's been around for a very long time. Stay fluid.
Yeah.
Right. So when I went to the hospital to get me checked, they got a library in there, and you make a donation, and you buy books. And I always go and look because I'm an avid reader. So I picked up one to read whilst I was there, and also to finish off and get home, which was a very good read. All right. We all remember the story of the guy who ended up having to chop his own arm off in the canyon. Okay. Yeah. Very interesting read. It's very, very interesting how he goes into the thought processes as the event carries on, which is what I'm interested in really is how do you deal with it? How do you think? How does your brain operate?
Yeah.
And the interesting thing was, within the first few hours of him being trapped, he realised he was going to have to cut his arm off, but it was he was sort of denying it the whole time. He was trying to find excuses not
Hi,
to, but he knew
Lefty.
he was going to have to. So yeah,
Hi, Levon.
hi Levon. How is the little fella?
Yep.
Hope he's good.
Been a busy man. Oh, good.
My mother-in-law's breath is more powerful than water.
So, Lefty, you liked our trike, did you? Well, my trike. Saw the pictures on Facebook.
Oh right.
Yeah.
We loved that trike, didn't we? Yeah. The things that come into your life and go out of your life, and you think, oh, I wish I still had that. Especially on days like today, I'd have got to pick the old girl up.
Yeah, it was a boom. Yeah, it was a boom. They had the 1300 engine taken out and the 2.3 V6 out of a 4 Capri put in it instead. And what do you call it? Not silicon. The pipes that went into the engine.
So there you go. And for anybody that wants to know, yeah, Kit and Killer used to work on the oil rigs, right? So if you want to talk to a man about deep water survival and that, so yeah, he's been out there and seen the conditions. As he says there, yeah, the rigs are in the same place for up to 40 years, and they monitor wave heights. They discovered a 100-year wave happens 2 or 3 times a year.
Yes.
Freak waves are quite a
They
regular
are
occurrence.
She used to pull wheelies.
Yeah.
And Lee Michael likes me and Michelle loves our trailer. Yeah, that one is great because my scooter goes in the front locker.
Yeah.
So it's like you got the front of it, and there's the back of the car. So my scooter is in that way. Then you got the front lockers where you got the kitchenette bit and gas, and in the back you just lift the door up and
Lefty. That trike of hers, because it was Kaz's, not mine. She chose it. She bought it. I drove it. She enjoyed the passengering on it. But that trike would wheelie in 4th gear. So it basically had the Volkswagen Beetle gearbox, a 2.3 V6 engine bolt on the back of that. So you can imagine that stuck out a lot further than the original lump. And it was a cast iron engine.
Yeah.
Or
ceramic pipes. That's it.
Yeah.
I was trying to
so
think of.
In 4th gear, if you just whacked it a full fistful, it would lift the front wheel. You never pulled away in first. You always pulled away in second. And you literally went second, eased it up into third, eased it up gently into 4th. If you went crazy with it, by golly.
The back wheels were off a Lamborghini, weren't they? And the speakers you had for the CD disc player were actually off a lifeboat.
Yeah, the marine speakers.
Yeah, marine speakers, yeah.
It was a great bit of kit. Had some good fun with that. But it was, I would say it was dangerous, purely and simply because it was so damn quick.
With COVID, we lost a lot of money on it.
Yeah.
A lot of money because no one had any money at it when we had to sell it. But we had it and we had some fun.
We enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And it created some good memories.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what life's about. Memories, isn't it?
Was that bullshit? I tried to get my...
Yeah, Booms are definitely the best factory-made trike of them all.
Yeah.
Definitely. I go with that. I've had friends that got real wackos and things like that, and I think the Boom was just a lot better built. Yeah, it's like now I think back to my bike club days. Great times, you know. And we had trikes within our club. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, because before we got ours, I there was an old boy. His name was Spider. He used to keep. He had an exotic pet shop originally, and his trike had all spiders and spiders' webs and all that on it, and this giant spider on the back of the thing. And I used to pit in with him because he had no one he used to take with him.
Yeah.
So whenever we used to go out on the bikes, I used to put in with Spider.
You been ironing again, Kiwi? Oh,
Yes.
mate, not in this heat.
Ironing?
Not in this heat.
What do you need ironing for?
You want 2 boards, okay? Fold it, weight it down, press it. Yeah, Philip, agree with you. Life is about laughter and enjoying every day, having those memories. Yeah, you got to have those memories.
These are silly things.
Excuse me, I've got chapped lips.
So get some that.
Yeah.
I don't iron.
Yeah.
My tumble dryer does these things that I need ironing. Fine. You fold things up properly. You don't need to iron.
School uniforms. Oh no! Oh no! Not school uniforms.
Oh, thank you.
Cheers, Lefty.
It's a natty bulk, wasn't it? Oh.
Yeah, I left the military and I was like, I'm never ironing another thing ever again.
Hey, natty.
And I
Appreciate that.
All right, weddings, funerals, yeah, of course you get out and you iron it. But apart from that, nope. Nikki does not.
My sister irons socks and pants and bras. What a waste of the life you cannot get back again.
One bra. No, I've never had anybody come up to me and go, "Blimey, you haven't got a crease in that bra." Well, they wouldn't anyway.
Yeah,
but
you don't want to char your sausage, Philip. No. You're lucky you didn't have one of those cage things you put the sausages in.
Yeah. I always wondered about the spitting of fat and things when you're at a nudist colony barbecue.
Yeah.
That's what always worried me. You know, you get a flare up on your steak.
Well, someone comes up and goes, "Oh, mate, when you're not watching, you jump forward." Yeah.
Yeah. You know, the last thing you want to do is singe your minge, is it? It's excuse me, that slipped out. I do apologise.
Not to mention the meatballs. Yeah.
I'm so dehydrated, guys. It is ridiculous. That's a lot of driving today.
Your meatballs or are they faggots? I think there's a couple of pods downstairs. I think that there's enough things to waste your time on without ironing.
Yeah, that's it, Bill. That's the best way to do it. Your t-shirt's creased. Yeah, it took ages to get that in there.
Yeah, they're out. It's right. There's no straight lines in nature.
Yeah. Oh, don't get me wrong. There is some. I mean,
there's
something I noticed. Something I noticed the other day when we were watching one of those American police programs. I was actually impressed in the uniforms. How smart and presentable their uniforms were. And then, unfortunately, they had a British copper who was stood there in a t-shirt who looked like he'd been dragged through a hedge backwards. He was 14 years old with his blue hair.
Yeah.
And I was like, standards and respect. Standards and respect. If I was still in a position where I was expecting respect, i.e. in a position of authority, then yes, my uniform would be immaculate because that gets respect. It shows that you have respect for yourself and the uniform you're wearing.
Philip, I've got a sticker off on the back of my scooter that says, "Don't follow me, I do stupid."
Yeah. So I do think, if you have to wear a uniform, wear the uniform, wear it with pride, and show the element of pride you got in it by keeping it smart, pressed, tidy, and all the rest of it. But for me, these days, what you see is what you get.
Yeah, so, but a lot of my friends will tell you, and you'll tell that if you're waiting for me to start behaving and at my age, you got a damn long way.
Yeah, you're exactly right there, Matt. As a paratrooper, he was told never to iron his uniform. There's no
You and your
straight lines
boots,
in
you're
nature.
always pulling your boots. You were always.
Philip.
Had she?
Philip, I like people that say silly things. I was a person brought up on Monty Python and Spike Milligan. So you carry on with the silly. There's not a problem there at all.
I've got a mobility scooter. Mine does 8 miles an hour. I'm dangerous. I have to be so careful. I'm in the shops. Yeah, with great teaching comes great responsibilities.
Yeah.
And I have a note that says I have no responsibilities.
No.
I cannot be blamed for anything because I will not take. Yes,
Yeah.
I will not own it.
Caroline cannot be held responsible for anything she's medicated against. So, yeah, soft uniforms. Yeah, I'm not a fan of soft uniforms. I know it's better for the guy that's got to wear it. I know it's a lot easier. It's a lot more comfortable. It's a lot more workable. But I think in certain roles, not necessarily everything. I mean, all right. So when you look at a fire brigade or an ambulance person, do they need to be pressed and smart? No, because they're not laying the law down on somebody. But if it's a police officer, then I do think it should be a smart, not necessarily up to the nines. But when I look at some of these American state troopers and people like that, and I see the uniforms they're wearing, even when they're wearing a combat shirt and that, it's smart, it's pressed, it's the lines are in it. It just shows a little. Or it to me, dealing with those people is be respectful. That's what it says to me straight away. It might be because of my background. It might be that old thing that when I see somebody done up smart and tidy, I instantly think, oh, that's authority.
Philip, my daughter-in-laws can say that because I have got a broom. I have got a broom.
Yeah, she's got a broom.
I was born on Halloween, so yes, I've got a broom. So, why did the butcher cry when he saw the sausage? Da, da, da.
I'm waiting for the answer.
Yep, so am I.
Wait for the answer.
He feared the worst.
That's actually quite good, isn't that? I'll give him points for that one. That day, I will give you points for that. That is, yeah, cracking.
Yeah.
Feared the worst. Oh. I'll write that down actually because I want to use that later this week.
Yep. I wonder where those green Crocs went. They're in your man cave. Your clean clothes that I gave you. What a horrible. Jeez. Yes, I remember Burton's because you got your wedding suit from Burton's. Yeah, didn't you?
Yeah.
Back in 1987. Yeah, 1987.
And it still fits me today. Don't think so. I wish I still had it. That would be quite funny to see how
Yeah.
there would be bits hanging out all over the place. Oh.
Yeah, I remember Burton's.
Yeah, well, Burton's, eh? Used to be able to go to Burton's, buy a suit, buy a shirt, buy a tie, matching trousers, shoes, the whole lot. Go in there, 15 minutes later, 35 quid, walk out, suited, booted, tooted, lovely.
Mind you, got a nice suit from Asda, didn't you?
Yeah.
Dirty joke for you, a man fell in a muddy puddle. Lee.
Yeah, Burton's. It's like, we all know Millets. How many of you remember Moffat's? Used to be a hardware store, and they used to sell things like work boots and all that sort of thing.
Oh.
And it used to, literally, the two main shops for me in Guildford, when I was a nipper, used to be what was then
I was going to CNA. I was at school.
Scats, which was the old farm supplies, and Moffat's, which was the old hardware shop. Moffat's is where I used to get my boots from.
He should have headbutted our vicar when we got married, because we found out about 2 months after we got married that the vicar who married us wasn't
Couldn't legally do a
actually
wedding.
supposed to be doing it, because he took over the church. He had come from another area where he'd run off with one of his congregation and came and told everyone that it was his wife.
He was about to get into a lot of trouble with the
'Cause-
church, with the powers that be.
Yeah.
And we actually had to have it was like a bit of an appeal, wasn't it? We had
Yeah.
to send all the paperwork off, documents
'Cause
off, and to find out if we were
every-
legally married.
Every christening, funeral and wedding that he did, they had to look into every individual case,
Yeah.
because we can't afford that all over again.
And luckily enough, they turned around and said, "No, that's all right. We'll accept it. You're married." I was like, "Rob, well, why did you bloody well will?" So Gaz got married, and then wasn't married, and then was married.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Although you married me
Fiction.
once, you've been married
Yeah.
to me twice. Ooh.
Video call.
Nice one, kitten. He walked through the door of the wedding to Burton's and asked if they had an off-the-peg suit that would fit him. I fucking hope so. Hope not, was the reply. Philip's vicar had a stutter, went into gate hours.
Yeah. You've been married twice. Could you get it right the first time?
Yeah, it was quite a day for us, that letter. I still remember it now when that letter came through from the...
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was like, you might not be married. What? Filled out all these legal forms.
Yeah.
With poor
Spent a
son.
fortune.
Yeah.
Oh, that all over again.
Well, here's a tip for you. Window here.
Okay. Yeah.
I covered it with a mylar blanket.
Yeah. And
Up
our
against the
bedroom. Yeah.
And our bedroom. And it's kept the upstairs quite a bit cooler. Okay, because obviously it reflects the heat, the light outside. There's a tip to you. And you can see through them as well. Not so well, it's like looking through a pair of sunglasses, but it do work. Mylar blankets up against your
Bill.
window. So if you've got a window that's exposed to a lot of heat or the direct sunlight, and you want to keep it that bit cooler, then tape a mylar blanket up to it. Just make sure you've got nothing in the garden that's flammable,
Yeah.
because it does reflect a lot of energy.
Yeah, it does.
Taking 10 hours trying to find his camouflage jacket. Oh, he's right behind you.
Oh, is
All
he?
right, Willow,
You gonna say your people today?
come on then.
Say hello to people.
Come on then. Oh, there you go.
As a 38, with our 38th this year, wasn't it?
Yeah, there you go, mate.
Night, Owen.
There you go.
There, Owen, look. It's a wee
He's a little tight fella. Yeah, he's I'm not doing this heat, Dad. I don't like this
Yeah.
heat.
Oh, where was?
I'm just going
Oh, look at you.
He just, yeah. He's had enough of it, hasn't he?
Yeah, he was 2 on the 11th, wasn't he? So he's 2 years old now. 2.
Lovely little lad, isn't he? Lovely little lad. Oh, yeah, he's so tired.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely not himself at the
Yeah,
moment with this heat.
you thought we lost him earlier on, and what he'd actually done, there's a gap under the sofa like that, and the throw goes right over to the floor, and what he'd done, he'd gone in under the sofa and was laying against the throw, wasn't he? Yeah, he's very tired.
Yeah.
He's had enough. Yeah.
He says, "You're too hot, Dad. I want to get down, get in front of the fan."
Yeah.
Yeah, so again, look after your little buddies, put some water in the garden. I'll tell you what, guys. I'm not going to be. I don't wish to be rude
What are you
tonight,
doing now?
but I'm going to wind it up in a minute because I'm absolutely shattered. It's been a long
My
day,
friend's got a miniature Dachshund. They're lovely.
and I will say to you all, watch yourselves in this heat wherever you are in this glorious world of ours. Put a bit of water out for the wildlife.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep your eyes open. And
Yeah,
if
he's a
you,
little Shih Tzu.
I don't know what
Shih
the
Tzu.
laws are in your country, and please don't get yourselves into trouble. But if you see something in distress, whether it be a children, a dog, or something
Yeah.
like that, do what you got to do, my friends.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
see there was two.
Tell them I told you to do it.
Two died up in Scotland.
Yeah.
Some people went shopping and left their
Yeah.
Maltese and
Yeah,
that in the car.
people don't realise. They don't realise, or they're stupid. There's no excuse for it. But yeah. So yeah. Other than that, look after yourselves. Stay hydrated.
Yeah, evening fishing if it gets cooler in. Yeah, Mac.
Yes. Yeah. But I'll calm down a little bit first. Oh.
And we'll see about trying to arrange a meet up with you, Stealth, on the way
Yeah,
up.
Stealth.
Week after
I'll
next.
get Caroline to sort that out with you, and we'll find a way of meeting up with you. We're picking the scooter up at 7 o'clock in the evening, and it's going to be light down there probably till
Night
about
Bill, night Dirty Faces,
almost 10 o'clock. And
night Stealth.
I'm one of those
Owen,
that really
Lee.
actually prefers to drive at night after dark when it's nice and cool.
Shih Tzu.
So we'll come down, we'll come down through the day.
Night Andy B.
And either meet up with you beforehand and then go get the scooter, or maybe meet up with you after, or if you're fairly local to it, you can come along with us. And
Oh no! I'm not too cleared out Stewart's Pond. They're buggers, they are, aren't they?
oh, just
Yeah.
otters. But don't get me wrong, I love otters. I think they're a wonderful looking animal, absolutely gorgeous to see.
But they're
Don't want them in the pond.
no.
Yeah, we used to get it in Cornwall. Yeah, you get somebody to set up a trout lake or carp lake,
Yeah.
and I've seen incredible fences, electrified, all sorts put up,
And
and they will always find a way.
we used to go to St Tinny's Farm in Cornwall, a fishing holiday place, and they had that, didn't they? They had a pair of otters get in there.
Yeah.
They took everything. Oh dear.
Yeah. Lovely things. Oh,
Probably very tasty if they've taken all your fish.
yeah. Right, I'm gonna hit the sack. I'm done. I've got to have a shower.
Good night, dear
Cool
people.
myself down. Hit
Thank
the
you
sack.
for joining us
Guys,
this evening.
have what otters taste like.
Yeah.
Otter. That's what they taste like.
Yeah, otter loppers. Yeah, definitely.
Guys, look after yourselves. Take care. Love you all. Love those you do. Forgive those you don't. And as always, may peace and light be upon you all. From Mick, Kaz, lads at Tire Pack, Mac, and Willow. Have an awesome week, guys. And we will catch you next Sunday at 2000 hours. And I will get you a video up this week. Guys, all the
Bye.
best. Mickey out.